Welcome to Calm Buddha, where timeless teachings become gentle stories for sleep. The world outside has turned to shades of twilight and deep blue, and here a gentle quiet has fallen. Imagine, if you will, that your journey for tonight does not end simply at the edge of your bed, but continues onward to the gates of a place of deep and abiding peace. Picture a temple nestled in a valley, silent beneath the soft gaze of the rising moon. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint, clean scent of sandalwood and damp earth. You have walked a long path to arrive here, and now your only task is to step across the threshold and leave the dust of the road behind. As you prepare for rest, allow yourself to settle into the sanctuary. Let your body grow heavy and still feeling the gentle support of the surface beneath you. The journey to true restorative sleep begins with this simple, profound act, the act of letting go. With each breath you take, feel the world of doing begin to fade. The day, with all its demands and conversations, its triumphs and its challenges, can be gently placed down now, like a heavy cloak you have been carrying upon your shoulders. There is no need to carry it any further tonight. Breathe in and feel a sense of quiet spaciousness entering. Breathe out and feel the weight of the day releasing from your bones, from your muscles, from the very cells of your being. There is nothing to solve, nothing to figure out. Here you are simply invited to be. Tonight we will walk a gentle path together, illuminated by the soft light of ancient Buddhist wisdom. These are not rules or commandments, but timeless whispers from a stream of understanding that has flowed for thousands of years. They have survived so long because they speak not to our fleeting worries, but to the timeless longing for peace that resides deep within every human heart. So often as we lay our head down to rest, the mind begins to race. It travels back into the landscapes of yesterday, replaying conversations, examining decisions. Or it rushes forward into the imagined terrain of tomorrow, making lists, anticipating challenges, and weaving stories of what might be. This mind full of echoes and plans is like a busy marketplace at noon. But true rest, the kind that heals and restores, is found not in this marketplace, but in a quiet courtyard at midnight, when all the vendors have gone home and the only light is from the stars. Buddhist wisdom teaches a simple yet profound truth. Peace is not something we can find by arranging the world outside ourselves to our liking. We cannot control the winds or the tides or the minds of others. Peace is an inside job. It is the cultivation of stillness within a quiet garden that we can tend to regardless of the weather reaching outside its walls. As we journey through these ancient teachings together, allow my voice to be a gentle guide. There is no effort required on your part, no need to strive or concentrate. Simply listen as you would listen to the gentle sound of rain on a temple roof, and allow yourself to drift. Rest is your natural state. Your body knows it and your deeper mind remembers it. All we are doing is gently removing the obstacles that we have placed in its way. In the stillness of this moment, as your breathing deepens and your body settles, imagine your own consciousness, your awareness, as a vast and endless sky at twilight. It is open, clear, and boundless, stretching from horizon to horizon. It has always been there, this silent, aware presence. It is your truest nature. The thoughts, feelings, and worries from the day may drift across this inner sky. See them now, not as problems to be solved, but simply as clouds. Some are dark and heavy. Some are light and wispy. They drift in, they linger for a moment, and then, without any effort from you, they drift away again. You are not the clouds. You have never been the clouds. You are the sky that holds them. The sky remains untouched, unchanged, and eternally peaceful no matter what weather passes through it. This is the very heart of mindfulness, the gentle, loving observation of our own experience without getting swept away by the storm. The Buddha, in his deep wisdom, saw that our suffering comes not from the challenges that life inevitably brings, the storms, the winds, the changing seasons. Our suffering comes from our resistance to them. We build dams against the river of change. We try to hold back the clouds. We argue with the rain. Or by learning to simply observe, to allow our thoughts and feelings to pass through the sky of our awareness without clinging to them or pushing them away, we create a profound space. In this space, healing happens. In this space, true rest can finally emerge. So tonight, as you lie here, simply rest as the sky. Acknowledge the clouds of thought as they pass. Note them with a gentle curiosity. There is a thought about work. There is a memory from the afternoon. And then gently return your awareness to the vast, peaceful stillness of the sky itself. Let the clouds drift on their own accord. They are not you. They are simply visitors passing through. And beneath them, behind them, all around them, is the silent, expansive peace that is your truest home. Allow yourself to rest back into that boundless peace now. As you rest here in this quiet sanctuary, continue to feel yourself as that vast and peaceful sky. The day has ended. The moon has taken its place as the silent guardian of the night. There is nothing left for you to do but to be here, breathing, resting, allowing. This practice of watching thoughts like clouds is one of kindness. It is not an attempt to force the mind to be empty. An empty sky is a rare thing. The nature of the mind, like the nature of the atmosphere, is to have movement, to have weather. The goal is not a sky without clouds, but the simple, peaceful recognition that you are the sky, not the weather that passes through it. When a particularly dark cloud drifts into your awareness, a worry about the future, a regret from the past, notice the tendency to become caught up in it. We can so easily leave our peaceful seat on the temple steps and fly up into the storm of the thought itself. We analyze it, we argue with it, we feel the winds and the rain of it as if they are our very essence. But this gentle teaching invites us to stay seated. It invites us to simply watch the cloud, to note its texture, its shape, its color, without needing to become the storm. You can say to yourself with a gentle inner voice, "Here is a cloud of worry. I see it." And in the seeing, in the naming, you create a space between you and the thought. In that space, peace is found. In that space, you remember that you are the sky. The Buddha's teaching on this is profound in its simplicity. He recognized that life is full of what he called arrows. An unkind word is an arrow. A difficult diagnosis is an arrow. An unexpected loss is an arrow. These things happen. They are part of the unfolding of life like wind and rain. But so often when we are struck by one of these arrows, we immediately shoot ourselves with a second one. This second arrow is our reaction. It is our resistance. It is the story we tell ourselves about the first arrow. This shouldn't have happened. It's unfair. I can't handle this. This will ruin everything. The first arrow may be unavoidable, but the second arrow is optional. Our suffering, he taught, comes almost entirely from this second arrow, the one we fire ourselves. Mindfulness is the practice of learning not to fire it. It is the practice of feeling the sting of the first arrow, but allowing the feeling to be just what it is, without adding a layer of resistance, judgment, or fear. It is learning to observe the cloud without becoming the storm. By simply watching rather than resisting, we create the space for profound healing to occur. The wound from the first arrow can breathe. The energy of the difficult emotion can move through us and dissipate just as a storm cloud eventually rains itself out and makes way for the clear sky. This journey toward inner peace, this gentle path of resting, as the sky begins with one crucial quality: compassion for yourself. For many of us, the voice that speaks within our own minds is far from kind. The clouds that pass through our inner sky are often seeded with harsh judgment and criticism. We speak to ourselves in ways we would never dream of addressing a beloved friend or even a stranger. We magnify our perceived shortcomings. We replay our mistakes on an endless loop, each time pointing out our failures with a sharp and critical inner voice. We hold ourselves to impossible standards of perfection and then berate ourselves when we, being human, inevitably fall short. Think for a moment of how you might comfort a dear friend who was struggling. You would likely use words of warmth and encouragement. You might say, "You did your best. It's okay to make mistakes. Be gentle with yourself." You would offer your unconditional presence and care. Now consider the voice you use with yourself in those same moments of struggle. Is it a voice of comfort and encouragement, or is it one of criticism and judgment? The Buddha taught that true transformation, the path out of suffering, begins with turning that same tender care inward. It begins with learning to speak to ourselves as we would to someone precious, someone deserving of patience, gentleness, and unconditional understanding. As you prepare to drift deeper into the quiet of the night, begin to notice the tone of your own thoughts. As the clouds drift by in the sky of your mind, listen to the sound they make. Is there a rumble of judgment, a sharp wind of self-criticism? You do not need to change it, not yet. The first step is always simple, gentle awareness. Simply notice. Notice how you speak to yourself. This awareness is like opening the temple doors to a dusty, forgotten room. You are simply allowing the first soft light of consciousness to enter to illuminate what has been living in the shadows. There is nothing to fix, nothing to solve. Your only task tonight is to rest completely and to begin listening with a kind and curious ear to the whispers of your own heart. Allow yourself to be exactly as you are, a human being worthy of compassion, doing your best to navigate the beautiful, mysterious, and often challenging journey of life. The words we use internally are not just fleeting sounds. They are the seeds from which our reality grows. They shape the world we inhabit from the inside out. When we make a mistake or face a challenge, planting seeds of harsh self-criticism only makes the ground of our mind more barren and difficult. Suffering puts down deep roots in such soil. Instead, we can learn to practice the gentle art of self-compassion. This practice begins with a simple acknowledgement of our own humanity. To be human is to be imperfect. To be on a journey is to sometimes stumble. This is not a personal failing. It is a universal truth, a thread that connects us to every other person who has ever walked this earth. When you treat yourself with the same warmth you would offer a dear friend, a profound shift begins to occur. That sharp internal voice of criticism, which so often feels like our constant companion, begins to soften. Its power diminishes not because we fight it, but because we offer a kinder, wiser voice as an alternative. Imagine that within you there is a small, delicate garden. For years, perhaps the only weather it has known is a harsh, critical wind that snaps at the new shoots and a cold, judgmental rain that freezes the ground. It is no wonder that it can be difficult to grow in such a climate. Self-compassion is the act of consciously changing this inner weather. It is choosing to offer the warmth of the sun. It is choosing to provide a gentle, nurturing rain. It is the patient hand of a wise gardener who knows that growth cannot be forced, only encouraged. Some may believe that self-compassion is a form of weakness, an excuse for not trying harder, or a way of ignoring our faults. But the wisest teachers have always known this is untrue. A garden that is constantly whipped by the wind does not grow strong and resilient. It grows stunted and fearful. True strength, true growth arises from a foundation of safety and acceptance. Self-compassion is not about ignoring the areas where we need to grow. It is not about pretending the weeds don't exist. Rather, it means approaching the task of gardening with love and encouragement instead of anger and frustration. It is kneeling down in the soft earth of your own being, seeing a weed, and gently, patiently loosening the soil around it to release its roots rather than yanking at it with force and tearing up the whole garden bed. It is seeing a tender new sprout and ensuring it has enough light and water protecting it from the frost and trusting in its innate potential to grow toward the sun. We nurture our own development with this same gentle care rather than with the brute force of judgment. As you rest here tonight, sinking deeper into a state of peace, allow yourself to be exactly as you are. You do not need to be fixed. You do not need to be improved upon in this moment. You are a being worthy of compassion simply because you exist. You are doing your best to navigate the currents of this life, and that is more than enough. Let this feeling of acceptance be a soft blanket covering you completely. There is nothing to achieve tonight, no standard to meet. Your only task is to rest, to allow the gardener to set down their tools, to sit on a quiet bench, and to simply enjoy the peace of the garden as moonlight settles upon the leaves. The critical voice may still arise. It is an old, ingrained habit. When it does, you do not need to wrestle with it. See it for what it is, a misguided attempt to protect you, an old strategy that no longer serves you. You can acknowledge it with a gentle inner nod. Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I am choosing a different way now. I am choosing kindness. Imagine the warmth of sunlight spreading through your chest, the very feeling of compassion. Let this warmth soften any areas of tension in your body. Let it soothe the tired places in your mind. This kindness is not something you have to earn. It is your birthright. It is the very nature of the open, peaceful sky of your awareness. Rest in that warmth. Rest in that kindness. You are safe. You are whole. And you are worthy of this deep and healing rest. As you settle more deeply into the quiet of this night, let us continue our exploration of this inner landscape. The practice of self-compassion is not a passive one. It is an active and gentle turning toward a new way of being. Imagine the harsh inner critic as an old, anxious gatekeeper who stands guard at the entrance to your heart. Dressed in shadows, this gatekeeper has a list of rules and regulations that is impossibly long. Their only job, as they see it, is to protect you by pointing out every potential threat, every flaw, every deviation from the path. When you make a mistake, the gatekeeper rushes forward sounding an alarm. You see, you have failed again. This is a disaster. You are not good enough, not skilled enough, not worthy enough. The gatekeeper's voice is loud and insistent because they are deeply afraid. They believe that this harsh alarm is the only thing keeping you safe from the dangers up the world. For a long time, we may have believed this voice. We may have mistaken its panicked shouting for the voice of truth. We may have allowed this anxious guardian to be the ruler of our inner world. But now, as you learn the path of compassion, you begin to cultivate another presence within you. Imagine a wise and gentle elder, the true keeper of the temple, who resides in the quiet courtyard at the center of your being. This elder moves with a slow, deliberate grace. Their gaze is calm and accepting. They have seen many seasons come and go, and they are not easily disturbed. When the gatekeeper sounds the alarm, this wise elder does not argue or fight back. Fighting only creates more noise and conflict at the gate. Instead, the elder walks calmly from the serene courtyard to the entrance. They do not try to silence the gatekeeper. They simply place a gentle, reassuring hand on the gatekeeper's shoulder, and in a voice as soft as moonlight, they say, "Thank you. I hear your concern. I know you are trying to protect us, but I am here now. I will handle this." This is the voice of kindness you can offer to yourself. It is a voice that acknowledges the fear behind the criticism without buying into its story. It is a voice that brings a calming presence to the panicked parts of ourselves. With this gentle reassurance, the gatekeeper's frantic energy begins to subside. The alarm bells fall silent. The elder can now turn their calm attention to the situation at hand, the mistake, the challenge, the feeling of vulnerability. They look upon it not as a catastrophe, but simply as a part of life's rich and varied tapestry. They see the learning that is possible. They see the courage it took to even try. And they offer the one thing that is truly needed in that moment: unconditional acceptance. As you rest tonight, you can practice becoming this wise elder. When a critical thought arises, see it for what it is: the old gatekeeper sounding a familiar, fearful alarm. You don't need to believe it. You don't need to fight it. You can simply gently place a hand on its shoulder. You can whisper inwardly, "Thank you for your concern. I am safe. It is all right." Then turn your attention away from the noise at the gate and back toward the silent, peaceful courtyard within. Return your focus to the gentle rhythm of your breath. Return to the feeling of your body resting. Return to the deep, unshakable knowing that your worth is not measured by your successes or failures. Your worth is inherent. It is in your being, not your doing. It is as constant as the moon in the night sky, sometimes obscured by clouds, but always, always there. Allow yourself to be held in this compassionate awareness. Feel the anxiety at the edges of your being begin to soften and dissolve in the presence of this deep inner kindness. You are the wise keeper of your own temple, and tonight you can let the anxious guard at the gate finally rest, knowing that you are safe, held, and whole. Having established a sense of gentle kindness in the mind, let us now turn this warm, compassionate awareness toward the body itself. For too long, we have treated the mind and body as separate, but the ancient teachings remind us that they are an inseparable whole, two wings of the same bird. Your body is the sacred vessel for your spirit's journey through this life. It is not a machine to be optimized, nor an ornament to be perfected. It is the living, breathing temple that houses your consciousness, the very ground upon which your inner life unfolds. As you prepare for deep sleep, bring your awareness fully into this temple. Feel its presence, its weight, its reality. Its pillars are your bones, strong and supportive. Its walls are your skin, the gentle boundary between your inner world and the world outside. Your heart is the altar at its center, beating a steady, faithful rhythm a drumbeat that has accompanied you since before your first breath. Bring your attention to the points of contact between your body and the surface that supports you. Feel how you are held, how you are supported completely. There is no need for you to hold yourself up. Allow the full weight of your temple to be received by the earth beneath you. Surrender its weight, and in doing so, feel a wave of release. Now, with that same gentle curiosity you brought to the clouds of your thoughts, begin to explore the inner halls of this temple. Notice any areas of tension that may be lingering from the day. Perhaps in your jaw, a tightness from words left unsaid. Perhaps in your shoulders, the weight of responsibilities you have carried. Do not judge these sensations or wish them away. See them simply as messengers, as prayers from the body that have been waiting to be heard. As you notice a place of tension, simply bring your awareness there as if you were bringing a soft lantern into a darkened room. And then breathe. With each conscious breath, imagine you are breathing in a soft, healing light. And with each exhalation, imagine this light flowing directly to that area of tension, inviting it to soften, inviting it to release its grip. You are not forcing it to go. You are simply creating the conditions for it to leave on its own. Each breath is a whisper of permission to let go. This conscious breath is the life force that nourishes your entire being. It is the sacred incense that purifies the temple, reaching every hidden corner, every quiet sanctuary. Feel how it brings life-giving oxygen to your cells, a silent, constant miracle that sustains you moment by moment. In the quiet of this night, as you drift towards sleep, take a moment to feel a sense of profound gratitude for this body, for this temple, and all that it allows you to experience. It is through this body that you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, the cool comfort of a gentle breeze. It is through this body that you experience the solace of a loved one's embrace, the simple pleasure of your favorite tastes and sounds. It is this body that faithfully carries you through each day of your life. For all its perceived imperfections, for all the ways we may criticize or neglect it, it continues to serve us with unwavering loyalty. It deserves our deep appreciation, not our judgment. So often, the voice of the inner critic, the anxious gatekeeper, turns its harsh gaze upon our physical form. But tonight, allow the wise elder to step forward. Allow the voice of compassion to speak. Feel gratitude for your feet, which have walked so many miles on your path. Feel gratitude for your hands, which have created and cared and held on. Feel gratitude for your lungs, which breathe for you even when you are not paying attention. Feel gratitude for your heart, which has continued to beat with strength and resilience through every joy and every sorrow. Rest in this feeling of appreciation. Allow it to be a soothing balm for your entire being. By honoring this temple, you create a profound harmony between body and mind, a harmony that is the very foundation of deep restorative rest. As your awareness rests within the temple of your body, begin to feel its connection to the world beyond its walls. This need for rest you feel is not a personal failing or a sign of weakness. It is the echo of a profound and universal wisdom, a rhythm that is woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Nature itself is our greatest teacher on the sacred balance between activity and rest. Consider the great silent trees. In the vibrant seasons of spring and summer, they extend their branches outward, turning sunlight into life, their leaves a flurry of constant quiet work. But as the year turns, they do not fight the coming stillness. They willingly release their leaves, letting them fall like a sigh of surrender and draw their energy deep into their roots, into the dark, quiet earth. This period of dormancy is not an absence of life. It is a gathering of strength, a necessary preparation for the magnificent renewal to come. Look to the fields after a harvest. The farmer knows they cannot be planted again immediately. They must lie fallow open to the sky, silent under the winter moon. This emptiness is not a void, but a fertile quiet, a time for the soil to replenish its nutrients, to heal, to breathe, so that it can support new life once more. The ocean too lives by this rhythm. The tides are drawn in and out by the moon, in a constant, effortless dance of expansion and release. The waves gather their power in the deep and expend it on the shore, only to retreat and gather again. Your own body is part of this grand natural music. The cycle of wakefulness and sleep is your personal tide, your private season of renewal. Many of us struggle with sleep because we have forgotten this. We have been taught to value only the outward-reaching energy of the summer tree, the visible productivity of the harvest season. We come to view rest as unproductive, a waste of precious time, and so we resist the natural pull of our own inner tide. We try to paddle against the current that is gently trying to carry us into the harbor of sleep. This struggle, this resistance is what creates so much of our weariness. Buddhist wisdom asks us to honor these natural cycles. It reminds us that periods of quiet rejuvenation are not optional luxuries, but are absolutely essential for any kind of sustainable energy, creativity, and peace. Without the silent winter, there can be no vibrant spring. As your consciousness begins to shift and soften, trust this ancient pattern of renewal that is playing out within you now. Your body knows this rhythm in its very bones. It is a wisdom encoded in your DNA, passed down through countless generations who lived and slept under the same moon and stars. Sleep is not merely the absence of being awake. It is not a switch that is turned off. It is a profound and active process of healing. Imagine that as you drift into slumber, a team of silent, gentle custodians enters the temple of your body. They move through its halls with loving care, mending the stresses of the day, sweeping away the debris of fatigue, and polishing the inner altars of your vital organs. Your mind, too, is being tended. Experiences are sorted, memories are consolidated, and emotional tangles are gently unraveled by a wisdom far deeper than your waking thoughts. You do not need to manage or oversee this process. Your only task is to grant permission for it to unfold. Your surrender is the key that unlocks the temple gates and allows these wise healers to begin their sacred work. Feel your own personal rhythm beginning to harmonize with the great, slow rhythm of the earth turning away from the sun. You are a part of this. You belong to this cycle. Allow the deep, slow current of the night to carry you now. Release your oars. Let go of the struggle. You are being guided toward the deep, quiet waters of restoration. As you float upon this deep, quiet current of the night, your mind may naturally drift toward the landscape of your waking life, toward your hopes, your plans, and your aspirations for the days to come. Throughout our lives, we naturally set goals that give our actions direction and meaning. Yet Buddhist wisdom offers a unique and gentle guidance on how to hold these aspirations. Imagine you are standing at the bank of a wide flowing river. This river is your life. The far shore, shrouded in a soft mist, is the future. For many of us, our goals are fixed points on that distant shore. We spend so much of our energy staring intently at that destination, filled with a mixture of hope and anxiety that we barely notice the living, moving river at our feet. This intense focus on the outcome can create a subtle, persistent tension in our minds and bodies, a tension that can follow us even into the quiet hours of the night. The wisdom of the middle path offers a different way. It suggests that instead of focusing on the far shore, we should turn our attention to the simple stepping stones that are placed in the river directly before us. These stones are our goals, but they are reframed. They are not the final destination, but simply the next wise, skillful, and achievable step on the journey. Each stone is close enough to be reached without exhausting us, yet each one moves us forward deeper into the beautiful unfolding mystery of the river. As you prepare for sleep, let go of your gaze on the distant shore. Release just for tonight the attachment to how you think the journey must unfold. Instead, bring your awareness to the stone you are standing on right now, this present moment of rest. Feel how solid and real it is. And then perhaps you can gently contemplate the very next stone, the small, manageable, compassionate step you can take tomorrow. That is all that is required. Trust that your journey across the river is unfolding perfectly, even when the path you take is different from the one you had planned. The river has its own wisdom. Sometimes the current will be stronger, guiding you to a different set of stones than the ones you had originally intended to use. To resist this current is to create a struggle. To flow with it is to find a hidden grace. Often the suffering we experience in our lives comes from setting goals that are anchored not in our own true nature, but in the expectations of others or in the restless desires of the ego. The Buddha encouraged his followers to look deeply into their motivations to ensure that the shore they were striving for was one that would bring genuine peace and fulfillment, not just fleeting satisfaction. So tonight, in this sacred quiet, as your body relaxes towards sleep, you might gently ask yourself, what truly matters? What brings a deep and authentic sense of rightness to my heart? What are the goals that align not with the world's idea of success, but with my own soul's quiet longing? When our goals arise from this authentic place, the journey toward them becomes as rewarding as their achievement. The act of crossing the river, the balance, the focus, the feeling of the cool water on our ankles, the beauty of the light on the water becomes a joyful meditation in itself. We are no longer rushing to get to the other side. We are fully alive in the crossing. So release your plans for tomorrow into the gentle flow of the night. Place them in a small boat of trust and let the river carry them. You can attend to them again in the morning light. Tonight, your only goal is this single simple stepping stone, the deep healing peace of this present moment. Rest here. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to accomplish. You are exactly where you are meant to be. As you rest upon your stepping stone in the great river of life, become aware of the water itself. Feel its gentle, persistent current flowing around you. It is the one constant in this ever-moving landscape. The river never stops. It is always changing, always new, yet it follows its own ancient natural patterns. This is the nature of life itself. It flows. Resisting this fundamental truth is the source of so much of our struggle. We try to build dams to stop the flow of time. We try to grasp the water in our hands, hoping to hold on to a moment of happiness, a feeling of security, a particular version of ourselves. But the water inevitably slips through our fingers, for its nature is not to be held, but to flow. The Buddha taught that when we learn to stop fighting the current, we discover a profound peace. When we embrace the flow of change rather than fearing it, the river ceases to be an adversary and becomes our guide. It reveals hidden gifts we could never have found if we had remained rigidly on the shore. When we approach the changing currents of our lives with a sense of gentle curiosity rather than anxious dread, we begin to find opportunities for growth where we once saw only obstacles. The unexpected bend in the river that takes us away from our intended path may lead us to a breathtaking waterfall we never knew existed. Think of the greatest moments of growth and wisdom in your own life. So often they have emerged from circumstances you would never have chosen. A difficult ending that opened the door to a new beginning. An unexpected challenge that revealed a strength you did not know you possessed. The river, in its wisdom, knew where you needed to go. Our resistance to change almost always stems from fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure or loss. We cling to the familiar stone we are standing on because we are afraid of the water, afraid of the next step, afraid of the mists that hide the farther shore. But the gentle teachings of the Dharma suggest that these fears are themselves impermanent, just like everything else. They are not solid realities, but are more like shadows cast upon the water, changing and dissolving with the light. By acknowledging our fears with a gentle, open awareness, we diminish their power over us. We see that they too are part of the river's flow, and we do not have to let them anchor us in one place. As sleep approaches, now notice how your own consciousness is beginning to shift and transform. The clear, linear thoughts of your waking mind are softening, becoming more fluid, more dreamlike. Your sense of your body may begin to feel more diffuse, its edges dissolving into the quiet around you. This very transition from wakefulness to sleep is a masterclass in impermanence. It is the river of your awareness flowing from a bright, narrow canyon into a deep, wide, silent lake under the stars. Do not resist this change. Allow yourself to flow with it. Let the current carry you. Trust the process. The boundary between being awake and being asleep is not a wall to be broken through, but a gentle shoreline where the water of your mind naturally finds a new depth, a new stillness. Tonight, as you rest, if you notice any resistance arising within you, a fear, a worry, a tension, see it without judgment. Observe the feeling of clinging to the shore of wakefulness. Then with each long, slow exhalation, imagine you are releasing your grip. Imagine you are allowing your small boat to drift out into the calm, quiet center of the lake. There is a deep wisdom in this surrender. You are letting go of the need to control how your path unfolds, and in doing so, you are aligning yourself with the effortless grace of the universe itself. As you float in this gentle current carried by the river of the night, you come to realize a profound truth. While you cannot control the river's course, you hold a quiet power in how you perceive the journey. The mind, your own consciousness, possesses an extraordinary ability to shape your experience of reality. Through gentle and consistent practice, we can cultivate a peaceful mind, an outlook that transforms our perception of the world. This is not a practice of denial. It is not about pretending that the dark and difficult parts of the river do not exist. The water is sometimes cold, the currents are sometimes rough, and there are sharp rocks beneath the surface. To deny this would be unwise. Rather, it is the practice of learning to carry a lantern. Imagine that in the deep quiet of the night, you are sitting in the temple courtyard. Darkness is all around you, a vast, profound, and peaceful darkness. But next to you, rests a small, simple lantern, and its soft, warm light creates a circle of gentle illumination around you. The lantern does not eliminate the darkness, it coexists with it, but it allows you to see the beauty. Within its reach, the intricate pattern of a single flagstone, the delicate form of a moss garden, the gentle curve of a ceramic pot. This lantern is your attention. The practice of cultivating a positive mind is the gentle, skillful art of choosing where to place this lantern's light. So often our attention is drawn compulsively toward the darkness, toward what is wrong, what is missing, what we fear. But we have a choice. We can acknowledge the vastness of the night and then gently, lovingly bring our attention back to the warm, golden circle of light. Right here, right now. As sleep draws nearer, allow the lantern of your awareness to rest on the simple sources of goodness in your life, however small they might seem. Do not search for grand or dramatic things. The power of this practice is in its simplicity. Perhaps the lantern illuminates the feeling of the soft bedding supporting your body, the profound comfort of simply being able to lie down and rest at the end of the day. This is a source of goodness. Perhaps its light falls upon the memory of a kind word. Someone shared with you a moment of connection, a shared smile. This is a source of goodness. Perhaps it illuminates the quiet, steady rhythm of your own breath, moving in and out, a faithful companion that asks nothing of you, sustaining your life from moment to moment. The sheer miracle of being alive here now. This is a profound source of goodness. Mindfulness is the foundation that allows us to do this. By training our attention to rest in the present moment, we free ourselves from being dragged into the past's thorny regrets or the future's misty anxieties. This present moment awareness is what allows us to see the simple joys that are available right here. They are the flagstones, the moss, the gentle curves that have been here all along, waiting for our lantern's light. When we water the seeds of goodness with our attention, they naturally begin to grow. A peaceful mind emerges not from forcing out the negative, but from diligently nourishing the positive. It is a gentle tending of the inner garden. So as you continue to relax, to drift, bring your gentle attention to these fundamental blessings. They remain available to you regardless of your external circumstances. The comfort of rest, the peace of the night, the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. Allow the feeling of this simple goodness, this quiet appreciation, to fill the circle of light around you. Let it be a source of warmth and safety. The darkness is still there, the river still flows, but you are resting peacefully within an embrace of gentle golden light created by the power of your own mindful attention. Within the warm golden light of your own attention, having acknowledged the simple blessings of this moment, we can now turn toward a deeper source of nourishment for the spirit. The Buddha spoke often of the importance of nurturing activities that bring genuine joy and fulfillment. In our busy lives, we often treat joy as a luxury, something to be postponed until all our work is done. We see it as a reward we must earn through tireless productivity or achievement. But the ancient wisdom suggests a different view, that joy itself is a path to wisdom, not merely a prize waiting at the end. Joy is the fuel for the journey, not just the destination. Imagine in the very center of the temple's quiet moss garden, there is a hidden wellspring. The water is cool, clear, and endlessly deep. This is the wellspring of authentic joy. All around the courtyard, there are shallow puddles left by a passing shower. These puddles represent fleeting pleasures and distractions. They can quench a momentary thirst, but they are quickly muddied and soon evaporate. We often spend our days running from one puddle to another, seeking temporary relief, only to find ourselves thirsty again. The practice of cultivating joy is the practice of learning to find your way back to the deep, clear wellspring. As you rest here in the moments between wakefulness and sleep, allow your mind to drift gently over the landscape of your life. Reflect on the activities that bring you this authentic happiness, not the brief excitement of distraction or entertainment, but a deep, quiet sense of rightness, of peace, of coming home to yourself. What are these activities for you? Perhaps it is the quiet focus of creating something with your hands, the feeling of flow when you are immersed in a garden, a piece of music, a drawing, a poem. Perhaps it is the warmth of true connection, a deep conversation with a trusted friend, the simple act of helping someone without seeking reward, or the feeling of being part of a community. Perhaps it is a profound connection with nature, the silence of a deep forest, the vastness of the ocean, the feeling of the earth beneath your feet. These activities are clues. They are signposts that reveal important truths about your unique path, your soul's true calling. The things that bring you genuine joy are not random. They are reflections of your deepest nature. In our modern world, busyness has become a badge of honor. Our days can become so full of obligations and tasks that there is no space left for the wellspring. A life without joy can easily become mechanical, driven more by habit and duty than by passion and intention. It is like a beautiful, ornate lantern that has no oil. It has the form of a life, but it gives no light. The activities that bring you joy are the precious oil for your inner lamp. By consciously creating space for what makes you feel truly alive, you cultivate an energy that sustains you through life's challenges. You replenish your own reserves so you have more to offer the world. Tonight, as your body releases the last tensions of the day, make a gentle, silent commitment to yourself, a commitment to honor your need for joyful engagement. See it not as an optional luxury, but as essential nourishment for your being. Imagine yourself engaged in one of these soul-nourishing pursuits. Feel the sense of peace and fulfillment that it brings. Feel the deep, resonant hum of rightness within your heart. This feeling is your compass. It is always there to guide you back to your most authentic self. Allow this feeling of deep, quiet joy to be the final thought that accompanies you into sleep. Let it be the gentle current that carries you out into the calm, healing waters of the night. You are worthy of this joy. It is your natural state, and by nurturing it, you bring more light not only into your own life but into the world. From this place of deep, resonant joy, another beautiful quality of the heart can now blossom. This is the quality of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most direct and powerful paths to cultivating peace and contentment. It is the practice of seeing the world not through eyes of lack, but through eyes of quiet wonder and appreciation. The ancient teachings remind us that a grateful heart naturally experiences a sense of abundance regardless of external wealth or circumstance. Conversely, a mind that is focused on scarcity, on what is missing or what is wrong, will create its own poverty even in the midst of plenty. Imagine that your life is a vast and treasure-filled room. A mind caught in scarcity will walk through this room and notice only the dust in the corners, the single cracked window pane, the one dim light bulb. A mind trained in gratitude will walk through the very same room and be captivated by the warmth of the hearth, the comfort of a well-worn chair, and the beautiful patterns the moonlight makes on the floor. The room is the same. The difference lies in where you choose to place the lantern of your attention. The practice of gratitude does not require you to change your circumstances. It only asks that you gently shift your attention within them. So now, as you lie here drifting closer to the shores of sleep, we will practice this together. With no effort, simply allow your awareness to gently scan the landscape of the day that is now behind you, and bring to mind just one simple thing for which you feel a sense of gratitude. It need not be anything extraordinary or grand. The most powerful gratitude is often found in the smallest of treasures. Perhaps it was the comfort of your first warm drink this morning, the simple quiet pleasure of that moment before the day began. Perhaps it was a moment of beauty you noticed a particular way. The afternoon light fell through the leaves of a tree. The breathtaking color of the changing sky at sunset, the face of a sleeping child, or a beloved pet. Perhaps it was a moment of connection, a kind word from a friend or a stranger, a shared laugh, the simple, profound feeling of not being alone. Take a moment, let one such memory gently surface in your mind. Hold it softly. Feel the echo of the good feeling it brought. Allow a quiet sense of appreciation to arise. Now let that one go and find another. A second simple jewel from the treasure chest of your day. Perhaps it is the comfort of your own bed, the feeling of the blankets, the safety and shelter of the room that holds you. A blessing so simple, it is often overlooked. Perhaps it is gratitude for your own body, for its strength, its resilience, its ability to heal, for the simple fact that it is breathing you right now without any effort on your part. And finally, a third thing, one more small treasure to hold in your awareness as you prepare for sleep. This practice is not about denying the challenges or difficulties of your day. The cracked window pane is still there. The dust in the corners may still exist. Gratitude is not a pretense that everything is perfect. It is a courageous refusal to allow the difficulties to become the entire story. It is the wisdom of acknowledging the shadows while choosing to rest your gaze in the light. As you hold these three small treasures in your awareness, feel how they begin to change your inner climate. Notice how this simple act of appreciation creates a gentle sense of sufficiency, a feeling of fullness, of quiet and calming peace. This feeling is the natural state of a grateful heart. Let this warmth spread through your body like honey dissolving in warm water. Let it soothe your nervous system and quiet the restless corners of your mind. You are held in a field of goodness. You are surrounded by blessings, both seen and unseen. Rest in this knowing. Rest in this peace. As the feeling of gentle gratitude settles within you, like soft moonlight filling the temple courtyard, allow this warmth to expand. Let your awareness spread outward beyond the walls of your own being to feel your connection to the vast web of life that holds you. The Buddhist teachings speak of a profound truth: nothing exists in isolation. All of life is a shimmering, intricate web of interconnection. Each thread is touched by every other thread. Every movement, every breath sends a subtle vibration across the entire web. In our modern world, we are often taught to believe in the story of the separate self. We see ourselves as independent, self-sufficient islands. But this is an illusion, and it can be a lonely one. The deeper truth is that we are all part of one another. As you rest here tonight, feel your connection to the countless other beings who are resting alongside you. At this very moment, across homes and cities, across continents and oceans, millions upon millions of souls are joining you in this most universal of human experiences. They are lying down, releasing the day, and surrendering to the quiet mystery of sleep. In this shared vulnerability, in this common need for rest and renewal, we can feel our profound kinship. Beyond all the stories that divide us during our waking hours, we are united in this simple, humble act. The breath that is moving through you now is the same air that is moving through them. The Buddha taught that at our core, all beings share the same fundamental desires. Every living creature, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, desires to be safe, to be happy, and to be free from suffering. When we recognize this common ground, our hearts naturally soften. A sense of compassion arises that extends beyond our immediate circle to embrace all of life. Feel the truth of this interdependence. Your life, your well-being is sustained by a network of support so vast it is impossible to measure. Think of the food that nourished you today. It is a gift from the sun, the rain, and the earth. It is a gift from the hands of the farmer who planted the seed, the driver who transported it, the grocer who stocked it on the shelf. You are connected to all of them. Think of the shelter that protects you tonight. It is a gift from the forest that provided the wood, the mine that provided the metal, the countless people whose labor and skill created a safe space for you to rest. You are held by their efforts. Even as you sleep, this web of support continues. Power grids remain active. Emergency services stand ready. Far away, bakers are beginning to make the next day's bread. The world continues to hold you, to care for you, even when you are not aware of it. You do not exist in isolation. You are a single precious dewdrop on a vast luminous web, and in your own being you reflect all the others just as they reflect you. Allowing yourself to feel this deep connection is a profound act of letting go. It is the release of the heavy burden of the separate self, the exhausting belief that you must face the world all alone. You are held. You are supported by forces of life and community far larger than your individual ego. You can allow yourself to surrender completely to sleep, trusting that this great benevolent web will hold you safely through the night. Imagine your breath as the physical embodiment of this connection. With each inhalation, you receive the gift of life from the world, from the trees and the oceans. With each exhalation, you offer your breath back a gift in return. This simple, constant exchange reminds you of your place in the greater whole. You are not alone. You are part of a vast, breathing, sleeping world. Rest in that knowing. Let it dissolve any lingering feelings of isolation. You are home, feeling yourself held within this vast and compassionate web of life. Allow your awareness now to draw gently inward. From the boundless horizon of interconnection, let your focus come to rest on the most intimate, faithful, and ever-present companion on your journey, your own breath. The breath is the anchor for the mindful heart. In the great open ocean of awareness, with its changing tides and unpredictable weather, the breath is the heavy, simple, reliable anchor that can hold you steady in a place of peace. The Buddha and the masters who followed him knew the profound power of this simple practice. They taught that conscious breathing is the bridge that unites the mind and the body, bringing them into a state of quiet harmony. When the mind is scattered, the breath can gather it. When the body is tense, the breath can soften it. As you lie here on the threshold of sleep, bring your gentle, kind attention to this breath. There is no need to change it, to control it. or to improve it in any way. Your only task is to feel it, to receive it. Let go of any effort to breathe and simply notice how the body is breathing all by itself. This is a timeless, ancient wisdom at work. It is the wisdom of the temple tending to its own sacred atmosphere. You might bring your awareness to the subtle sensations at the tip of your nostrils. Feel the cool air gently entering on the in-breath and the warm air softly leaving on the out-breath. Rest your attention there as you would rest your gaze on a single, gently flickering candle flame. Or perhaps it is easier to feel the breath in your body. You might notice the gentle rising and falling of your chest, or the soft expansion and release of your abdomen. Choose whichever sensation is clearest to you and let your awareness rest there like a hand resting gently on the shoulder of a trusted friend. Whenever the mind wanders, as it naturally will, into a thought, a memory, a sound, gently without any judgment, guide it back. Guide it back home to the simple, humble, miraculous sensation of breathing. This simple act of focused attention has a profound effect. It calms the nervous system. It signals to every cell in your body that you are safe, that all is well, and that it is time to rest. It prepares the temple for its period of deep, healing quiet. As you continue to relax, you may notice that the breath begins to change on its own. It may become slower, deeper, more rhythmic. You might notice the movement shifting from your chest to your abdomen. This is the natural breathing pattern of deep relaxation. Do not try to make this happen, simply appreciate it when it does. Appreciate how this automatic, intelligent process perfectly adjusts to your body's changing needs, gently guiding you from the state of wakefulness toward the state of sleep. Your body knows exactly what to do. Your breath is the guide, the gentle boatman ferrying you across the quiet waters. Each breath is a wave of peace. The inhalation, a gathering of calm. The exhalation, a complete release of tension. In and out, rising and falling. A simple, silent rhythm that has been with you from your very first moment and will stay with you until your last. It is the most loyal friend you have. In any moment of difficulty at any time of day or night, you can always return to it. It is always here waiting patiently to offer you its gift of presence. Tonight, allow it to be your lullaby, the quiet, steady, reassuring song of life itself. Rest your awareness upon it and let it carry you effortlessly into the deep, restorative peace you deserve. Resting in the gentle rhythm of your breath, you arrive at the very heart of the journey into sleep. This is the sacred art of letting go. In the teachings of Buddhist psychology, the act of letting go is not seen as a loss, but as a profound liberation. Throughout the day, we accumulate so much. We gather tensions in our muscles, worries in our minds, and regrets in our hearts. We hold on to our identity, our plans, our sense of control. We arrive at the edge of the night with our hands clenched tightly around all that we have carried. Sleep asks us to open our hands. Imagine with each long, slow exhalation that you are doing just that. Imagine your breath is a warm, gentle breeze that is carrying away all that no longer serves you. With each out-breath, a layer of accumulated stress dissolves and drifts away into the quiet of the night. Feel your muscles receiving this message of release. The small, tense places in your forehead and jaw begin to soften. The weight on your shoulders feels a little lighter. Your hands, which have been doing and holding all day, can finally rest completely open and empty. Your thoughts too begin to grow quieter, more distant. Your attention, which has been holding so tightly to the day's events, gently releases its grip. This letting go is not something you must force. It is a natural unfolding, a homecoming that happens on its own when you simply allow it. The Buddha spoke of a principle called non-striving. It is the paradoxical truth that there are certain states of being that can never be achieved through direct effort, but can only be entered into when we release all effort. Peace is one such state, and sleep, perhaps, is its most perfect nightly teacher. You know this from your own experience. The harder you try to fall asleep, the more sleep seems to run from you. The more you chase it, the more elusive it becomes. This is because the act of trying, of striving, is an act of tension, and tension is the very opposite of the state required for sleep. Instead, we learn to create the conditions for sleep to arise naturally. We have done so already by entering the quiet temple, by cultivating kindness, by honoring the body, and by resting in the breath. We have prepared the guest room. We have lit a candle and placed fresh flowers by the bed. Now our work is done. We can only sit back and trust that the guest will arrive when they are ready. Sleep is like a shy, wild creature of the forest, and if you go crashing through the undergrowth calling its name and trying to capture it, it will retreat deeper into the shadows. But if you simply find a quiet place to sit still, your own body soften your gaze and become completely patient, it may, in its own time, feel safe enough to emerge. It may tentatively step out from behind the trees, and seeing that you mean it no harm, it may come and rest beside you. So now release any and all effort to fall asleep. Let go of the goal. Let go of the desire. Let go of the timeline. Your only task is to rest comfortably. Your only job is to be here in this quiet, open, and allowing state. Whether you are awake for another hour or for another minute is of no consequence. You are resting, and that is enough. Let sleep arrive in its own time. Let it be a shy animal that approaches only when it knows you have truly ceased your pursuit. Surrender your need to control this last part of the day. Hand the reins over to the deep, ancient wisdom of your own body. It knows the way. Trust it completely, let go and be carried. Having opened the hand of the mind, let us now embark on a slow, gentle journey through the physical landscape of your being. The connection between mind and body is a sacred one. A peaceful mind invites a relaxed body, and a relaxed body helps to quiet the mind. We will now use our attention as a final soothing balm for the temple of the body. This practice is a slow and loving exploration. Imagine your awareness is a small, soft light, like a single candle flame, and you are going to carry it through the quiet, sleeping halls of your own physical form. There is nothing to fix or change, only to illuminate with a gentle, friendly presence. Let us begin this journey at the very foundation of the temple, your feet. Bring the soft light of your awareness all the way down to your feet. Notice any sensations that are present there. Perhaps a feeling of warmth or coolness, a tingling or a sense of heaviness. Feel the awareness fill your toes, the soles of your feet, your heels, and your ankles. Your feet have carried you through the entire day. Now they can rest completely. Offer them a silent thank you, and as you exhale, feel them growing heavy, soft, and deeply relaxed. Now allow the candle flame of your awareness to drift slowly upward from your ankles into your lower legs. Feel your calf muscles, your shins. These are the strong pillars that support you. Often they hold tension without us even realizing it. Simply bring your gentle attention here and give them permission to soften to let go of all they're holding. Continue this slow journey upward, bringing the warm light into your knees and then into the large, powerful muscles of your thighs. Feel the weight of your legs heavy and still sinking into the surface beneath them. These legs have walked your path, climbed your hills, and stood their ground. Now their work is done. Allow them to surrender completely to rest. Let the light of your awareness now pool in the area of your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This is the very center of your body's foundation, an area that often carries deep-seated tension. Breathe into this space. With your gentle, non-judgmental attention, simply notice what is here. On your next exhalation, imagine all the tightness, all the holding dissolving like mist in the morning sun. Now guide your awareness upward through the abdomen. Feel the gentle rhythmic rise and fall with each breath. This is the soft center of your being. Let it be soft. Release any tension you might be holding here. Bring the light upward into your chest, the home of your heart and lungs. Feel the steady, faithful beat of your heart. Feel the gentle expansion and release of your lungs. Let this entire area be filled with a sense of peace and gratitude, a feeling of profound safety. Let this warm, relaxing light now flow down from your shoulders, through your arms and into your hands. Your arms and hands, which have reached out, carried, and created all day, can now be completely still. Feel the energy in your fingertips. Feel your hands resting open and at peace. Slowly bring the awareness up through your neck and your throat. This is a narrow bridge where tension often gathers. Invite the muscles here to lengthen and soften. Create a sense of space and ease. Finally, let the soft light of your awareness illuminate your face. Allow your jaw to be unclenched, your lips to be soft. Let your cheeks relax. Feel the tiny muscles around your eyes letting go. And allow your forehead to become smooth, wide, and completely serene. The entire temple of your body is now bathed in this soft, warm, compassionate light. You are not a collection of separate parts, but a single, unified field of peaceful sensation. Rest in this feeling of wholeness. Your attention is no longer caught in the world of thinking, but is fully present in the world of being. If you drift off to sleep during this journey, that is perfect. If your mind wanders, simply guide it back to whichever part of the body you were visiting. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There is only this gentle, loving return again and again to the quiet, peaceful landscape of your own body. Now, as your body rests in this deep state of peace and the mind is quiet and receptive, we can engage in one final, gentle practice. In the Buddhist tradition, it is understood that our intentions are like the rudder of a ship. They subtly shape the direction and quality of our experience even when we are not consciously aware of them. The time just before sleep is a particularly potent moment. The veil between the conscious and the unconscious mind is thin. The soil of your deeper being is soft, fertile, and ready to receive. In this moment, we can plant a gentle seed of intention for the night's journey. This is not a goal. It is not something to strive for or a problem for the mind to solve. It is more like a quiet whisper to the deepest part of yourself, a gentle request offered to the wisdom that operates beneath the surface of your waking thoughts. Without any strain, without demanding a specific outcome, simply allow a simple, heartfelt intention for your sleep to form. Perhaps your intention is for physical healing. You might silently offer the wish, "May this sleep bring deep restoration and healing to my body." Imagine this intention as a seed of pure golden light and gently place it in the center of your being. Perhaps your intention is for emotional peace. You may be moving through a difficult time, and so your whisper to the night might be, "May my heart find peace and solace in this rest. May I integrate the day's lessons with grace." Or perhaps your intention is for inspiration. You might be seeking clarity on a certain path, and so your intention could be, "May my deeper wisdom offer guidance and insight while I rest. May I awaken with a renewed sense of clarity." It could be as simple as the wish to experience a profoundly peaceful and uninterrupted sleep. Choose whatever feels true for you in this moment. Hold this simple intention in your awareness, like holding a small, smooth, luminous seed in the palm of your hand. Feel its gentle warmth, its quiet potential. Now comes the most important part of the practice. Having clarified your intention, you must release it completely. You must plant the seed. Imagine the deep, quiet, fertile ground of your unconscious mind. With a final, gentle exhalation, let the seed go. Let it drop from your awareness into this dark, rich soil, and then turn away. Your work is done. You do not need to stand over the garden worrying if the seed will sprout. You do not need to dig it up to see if it is growing. To do so would only interfere with the natural, mysterious process. You can now trust completely in the wisdom of the night. Your deeper mind, that wise and ancient gardener, has received your request. It will tend to the seed while you rest, nurturing it with the silent, magical processes of sleep. The solutions, the healing, the insights you seek often arise effortlessly after a night of deep rest, not because we struggled toward them, but because we got out of the way and allowed a deeper intelligence to do its work. So release it. Let go of the intention as you have let go of everything else. You have offered your quiet prayer to the night. Now all that is left to do is to rest in the deep, silent trust that it has been heard. You have set your rudder. Now you can allow the gentle winds of sleep to fill your sails and carry you wherever you need to go. Having planted your seed of intention and released it to the night, you now rest in a state of profound surrender. And in this space of surrender, a final, subtle teaching may be needed, a gentle wisdom for those nights when sleep seems to linger just out of reach. The Buddha taught that the root of our suffering often comes from craving and aversion, the desperate wanting of things to be different than they are. This applies profoundly to the experience of sleep. When we are awake and desperately want to be asleep, a powerful inner conflict is born. Our desire for sleep and our aversion to being awake creates a deep frustration. This frustration is a form of tension, and this tension is the very thing that bars the gates to the peace we seek. Here we are invited to practice one of the most healing qualities of the heart, equanimity. Equanimity is the ability of the mind to remain balanced, spacious, and peaceful, regardless of the changing conditions it encounters. It is a deep and unshakable calm that does not depend on getting what it wants. If you find yourself still awake, if you notice your mind becoming frustrated or anxious about the fact that you are not yet asleep, this is a precious opportunity to practice instead of fighting the moment. Can you allow it to be exactly as it is? Can you practice accepting your current state with a gentle, open heart? If sleep feels distant, then your practice is to simply rest in peaceful wakefulness. The primary suffering of a sleepless night comes not from the simple fact of being awake, but from our mental and emotional struggle against it. It is the story we tell ourselves. This is a disaster. I will be exhausted tomorrow. I am failing at sleep. This is the second arrow we spoke of earlier. You can choose not to fire that arrow. Remind yourself gently that even if you are not asleep, your body is still receiving immense benefit from this period of profound rest. By lying still in the quiet and the dark, your muscles are recovering, your organs are resting, your entire system is in a state of deep rejuvenation. Rest is healing in itself, and you are providing it for yourself beautifully. See if you can let go of the label insomnia and reframe the experience as a period of quiet, peaceful, conscious rest. The experience itself does not change, but your relationship to it is transformed. The struggle dissolves. Imagine your mind is a deep, still lake under the night sky. The desire for sleep is like throwing a stone into the water, creating ripples of agitation that disturb the surface. The frustration that follows is like throwing another and another. Soon, the entire lake is turbulent. Equanimity is the practice of putting down the stones. It is allowing the lake to be just as it is. If the waters are still enough to reflect the stars with perfect clarity, you can appreciate the beauty of that peaceful wakefulness. If the waters are dark and calm as you drift into slumber, you can appreciate that too. The peace is in the stillness of the water, not in what it is reflecting. Cultivate a gentle, friendly acceptance of your present reality. Know that all states, including this one, are temporary. They arise, they stay for a while, and then they pass. This wakefulness will not last forever. The dawn will eventually come. Sleep in its own time will arrive. By releasing the fight, by surrendering to what is, you paradoxically create the very conditions that are most conducive to sleep. You remove the obstacle of your own striving. You lay down your weapons and declare peace with the present moment. And in this field of inner peace, the shy creature of sleep is far more likely to feel safe enough to approach. So rest now. Awake or asleep, it matters not. Simply rest in this deep, quiet, radical acceptance of what is. Resting in this quiet field of acceptance, whether you are awake or on the verge of slumber, you can now become acquainted with the most silent, peaceful, and unchanging aspect of your own being. Throughout the great wisdom traditions, this is known as the observer, the witness, the silent presence that is the source of all knowing. This is the part of you that has been aware of this entire journey tonight. It was the awareness that noticed the thoughts like clouds, that felt the warmth of compassion, that experienced the gratitude, that felt the sensations in the body. Thoughts, feelings, and sensations come and go, but this knowing presence remains. As sleep draws ever nearer, see if you can gently shift your identification. Instead of being the thinker of the thoughts or the feeler of the feelings, can you rest as the awareness that is simply noticing it all? Let us return to the image of the great river of life. For much of our journey, we have been learning to flow with its current, to be skillful in our navigation. Now there is a new invitation. The invitation is to climb out of the water, to shake the drops from your clothes, and to find a comfortable, quiet spot on the riverbank. From this peaceful vantage point, you can now simply watch the river flow by. The water is the stream of your experience. A thought about yesterday floats by like a brown leaf. A feeling of tiredness drifts past like a patch of soft moss. A distant sound appears on the surface and then vanishes like a ripple. You do not need to do anything about what you see. You do not need to jump back into the water to grab the leaf or push the moss away. Your only practice is to remain seated peacefully on the bank. Rest as this witnessing presence. Notice thoughts arising and passing without identifying with them. They are not you, they are simply the river's current. Notice emotions, however subtle, flowing through you. They are not you. They are simply the different colors and temperatures of the water. Notice the physical sensations in your body, the heaviness, the warmth, the gentle rhythm of your breath. These too are simply part of the river's flow. This is the ultimate return to the sky of the mind. The sky does not become the clouds, nor is it harmed by the storm. It is the vast, silent, loving container in which all weather happens. You are this sky. You are this silent, watchful presence on the riverbank. This is not a cold or distant detachment. It is a loving, spacious presence like a wise and kind grandparent watching a beloved child play. There is warmth in this watching. There is a deep, unconditional acceptance of everything that arises. As you abide in this state, something remarkable begins to happen. The grip of your waking identity, the small self with all its stories, its worries, and its plans, begins to naturally and effortlessly loosen. It dissolves back into the great flow of the river, leaving only the peace of the silent bank. This spacious witnessing is the final gateway to the deepest rest. It is the ultimate act of letting go, of surrendering the doer, the thinker, the warrior, and simply being the one who is aware. There is nothing you need to do to achieve this state. It is already here. It is the very awareness that is hearing these words. Simply recognize it. Rest back into it. It is your truest home, a place of profound and unshakable peace. And it has been waiting patiently for you all along. Abiding as the silent witness, resting peacefully on the riverbank of your own awareness, you begin to notice something profound. As the flow of thoughts, feelings, and sensations becomes more distant, you become more aware of the space in which they are all happening. In the Buddhist tradition, this is related to the concept of shunyata, often translated as emptiness. But this is not a cold or barren void. It is not nothingness. A more helpful way to feel it is as a vast, benevolent spaciousness. It is the silence between sounds. It is the open sky that holds the stars. It is the boundless potential from which all things arise and to which all things return. Throughout the day, our minds are often like a small, cluttered room, filled to the ceiling with furniture, our fixed ideas, our roles, our plans, our memories, our judgments. We move through this cluttered space, bumping into the sharp corners of our own concepts, feeling confined by the walls of our own identity. As you approach the threshold of sleep, a natural and beautiful process occurs. The walls of this room begin to grow thin, transparent. The ceiling dissolves, and you find that you are not in a small, cluttered room at all. You have been resting all along in an open courtyard under the vast, limitless expanse of the night sky. Allow your mind to open into this spaciousness now. Notice how your thoughts, which may have seemed so solid and important just a short while ago, now appear less so. They have become like distant, twinkling stars in the immense darkness. They are beautiful, they are present, but they no longer define the landscape. The vast, silent space between the stars is what holds your attention now. This natural emptying creates the perfect conditions for the deepest rest to enter. When the room is no longer cluttered, there is space for a profound peace to unfold. You do not need to empty your mind through effort. You cannot scrub the stars from the sky. Your task is simply to notice how your mind is naturally emptying itself as sleep draws near. It is a process of melting, of dissolving. Our fixed ideas about who we are, about what the world is, are like intricate sculptures carved from ice. In the bright, active light of day, they seem solid, real, and permanent. But in the warm, gentle, accepting darkness of deep rest, they begin to lose their sharp edges. They soften. They begin to melt, releasing their rigid forms and flowing back into the great formless ocean of pure being. Let this melting happen. Release the need to be someone. Release the need to know anything. Release the need to hold any particular shape. Rest in this open, undefined, and peaceful spaciousness. It is your true nature. Before you were given a name, before you were told your story, this silent, aware spaciousness was here. It is the canvas upon which your entire life has been painted. Tonight you can let the painting dissolve and simply rest as the pure, clean canvas. There is a profound freedom in this state, a freedom from the burden of the past and the anxiety of the future. Here in this vast open sky of mind, there is only the peace of the present moment expanding infinitely in all directions. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere left to go. Simply float in this silent, starlit ocean of being. It will hold you. It will heal you. It is who you are. And so you have arrived. Resting in this vast, open spaciousness, you have completed the journey from the busy marketplace of the day to the deep, silent sanctuary of the night. You have walked the moonlit path step by gentle step, and now you have arrived at the very heart of the temple, a place of profound and unconditional peace. The ancient teachings speak of sleep not merely as a physical necessity, but as one of the great natural blessings available to all beings. When we approach it with this kind of gentle awareness, the act of falling asleep is transformed. It becomes a sacred practice, a nightly opportunity to remember the wisdom of surrender, to release our small striving self, and to trust in the greater rhythms that sustain all of life. Feel a final gentle wave of gratitude for this universal gift and this remarkable process that restores the body and clarifies the mind, all without any effort on your part. It is a nightly baptism in the waters of being, washing away the dust of the day and preparing you for the fresh light of a new dawn. The path you have walked tonight is both uniquely yours and universally shared. As you rest here, feel once more your connection to all beings. In this deep quiet, the illusion of separation dissolves completely. You are part of one great breathing consciousness held in a universal embrace. And so, in the traditions of loving kindness, we offer a final blessing, a gentle rain of benevolent wishes to fall upon this peaceful, fertile ground. Begin with yourself. As you float in this calm, silent space, offer yourself these words. May I be filled with a deep and abiding peace. May my body find complete and healing rest. May my mind be spacious and clear. May I awaken tomorrow feeling refreshed and renewed. Now allow this feeling of loving kindness to expand, to radiate outward from the center of your heart. Extend these same wishes to all those you love, to your friends, your family. Picture them resting peacefully and wish them well. Extend the circle wider still to your neighbors, your community, and even to those with whom you have difficulty. In the shared vulnerability of sleep, all conflicts can be laid to rest. Finally, let this blessing become boundless, extending to all living beings everywhere without exception, across all lands and all waters, to to every creature great and small. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings find peace. May all beings sleep well. Thank you for walking this path tonight. May these timeless teachings be a gentle guide, a comforting presence, as you drift now into the final, deepest stages of sleep. Rest well knowing that you are held in the vast, silent, and loving embrace of the night. Sleep peacefully. Good night.